Hi, this is Teresa at Divine Frequency, and today we are talking about the field of infinite potentiality, or possibilities, or the source field, or whatever you want to call it. So, in this day and age, we are very focused on the physical, but people like you and I, right? No, I'm just kidding. But what we really need to be focusing on and thinking about here is the invisible. This is very, very important. Quantum physics tells us that there is an invisible energy field, right? This is the field of infinite possibilities, the field of infinite potentialities. This is the source field, and it's the governing system of our physical reality, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. I wanted to give a couple of anecdotes from my life about how I manipulate source field and how I manifest. And I wanted to talk about something really cool that happened to me about a month ago. I don't even know if you guys know what this is, but I don't even know really like what to call it. I guess it's a light stick. Pretty nifty. It's like a little LED inside of a styrofoam. It's like a pool, whatever. You know, the things like the pool noodles? Kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, I went to a bar with my friends. I'm sure if you've gone to Vegas, you probably know what this is. But anyway, at the clubs, they're like, yeah. So I went to a bar with a couple of my friends like a month ago, and I walked into the bar, and they had turned it into a club. And it was a ton of people, and there was a dance floor, and there was a DJ on the stage, and there was a police officer that had about 6 of these in his hands, and he's waving them around like this, like having a good time, dancing around, and I just lose it. I am laughing hysterically, and I'm grabbing my friend's shoulder like, hey, look at this police officer. And I said, that guy is the coolest guy in the room. And right after I said that, he looks at me. And this was, I'm talking clear across the room, like far across the room. There was a ton going on. It was dark in there. There was a bunch of chaos, loud music, and he looks at me. And I smile at him, and I was like, yeah, you, I think is what I said, like basically like trying to like let him know, like, you are cool, you're having fun, and that's cool. Anyway, so a bunch of people like pass by him, so he's dealing with that, and then like a few seconds later, I see him like try to find me again, and he sees me, and I see him wind up like this, like he's gonna throw this at me, and I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna catch this because I'm horrible at catching anything. And plus, he's clear across the room, like, no way. And anyway, these things must be really aerodynamic because he sails this clear across the room. I didn't catch it. My friend catches it behind me and hands it to me. And I was like, yeah, at the cop. And we shared that moment. We were both like, yeah. Anyway, it was cool because I feel like I beamed my energy photons at him with my brain from across the room. And he like sensed that and then like caught me and like looked at my eyes and like was like, yeah, you want this thing? Anyway, it was really cool. So I was all excited because I was like, man, I manifested this. I was like, yeah, that guy's having fun. And he's like, anyway, so that was a cool story. Also, I like to test the field of infinite possibilities. And Jordan and I like to do this together, Jordan Sather. And one day, this was like 3 weeks ago, I think, I texted him, I was on my way into work, I wait tables, and I said, today we're gonna manifest red roses. And what I mean by that is you pull something into your field. You can choose to do this with anything. You can choose to do this with money. You can choose to do it with abundance, anything like that. So red roses. So I go into work and I'm waiting tables and I go in through our bar area and there are a bunch of TVs in there. And I don't really look at the TVs a whole lot, but, you know, I see, you know, our commercials that usually play and like what's usually on the TVs are like game, you know, it's sports related. So lots of games and stuff like that. And there was a commercial that comes on and it was for a flower store and it showed a bouquet of red roses. I was like, what? Red roses, ding, ding, ding. But then I'm thinking, I'm gonna wait, make sure that that's not a coincidence. Like I need to maybe see 3 signs, you know. And I threw that thought being out into the universe. I turn my head 10 seconds later, I see another TV as I'm walking through the room and it's a completely different company, totally different flower company. And it, again, has a bouquet of red roses. I'm thinking, what? That's crazy. That's 2 in a row, and they're different companies. That's pretty significant. I'm going to have to text Jordan and tell him that. So I go into the bev station. I grab the drinks I need. I'm walking out of the bev station, and then I was going to stop by the bathroom so I could text Jordan back. And as soon as I walk out of the bev station, I see a 3rd commercial. Here it is, up on the TV, like the one I saw right as soon as I walked out. And it was a completely different flower company. There it is, red roses. 3rd one in a row. So I go into the bathroom and I grab my phone to text Jordan, and I have a text from Jordan and it says, oh my goodness, the triplicities of synchronicities I'm receiving today are insane. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's receiving triple synchronicity. So I call him. I was like, dude, I just saw 3 different commercials, all within like a minute and a half of each other, all with red roses, all different companies. And he was like, no way, 3? I sent that to you through the ether. And I was like, oh my gosh, you sent me etheric roses? Legit. So that was that story. Anyway, I think that that's really cool. You guys probably have some cool stories of your own, but I did want to talk to you about how you can do this on your own, like an experiment, because I thought that'd be fun. So I got this book a little bit ago. This is like maybe a year and a half ago I got this book, but it's by Pam Grout, and it is 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments that prove your thoughts create your reality. And this is a pretty cool book. It also comes with a oracle deck, if you're into that kind of thing, with the guidebook and everything. Let's see, we've got Woot Woot. Hey, I like that one. From scratch. Anyway, pretty cool deck. So let's talk about this experiment. So the first experiment in here basically proves that a source field exists, proves that there is a field of infinite possibilities. And what you want to do is you want to get a piece of paper, you want to write your name and the time and date, and you're going to say, I give the universe 48 hours to show me a definitive sign that there's a source field, that there's a field of infinite possibilities. Show me a sign. It has to be something significant. Can't be something that you could write off as coincidence. And then you can also set the intention that you want help identifying this sign. So what this essentially does is it's putting this out into you're seeding the field with your consciousness. You're making an effort to say, this is what I want, and then you're opening yourself up and being open and willing to receive. So when I talked earlier about being able to do this with all different kinds of things like money, abundance, whatever, like one thing that I said in the mornings is I say, the universe is abundant and showers me with gifts. And what that's doing is that's shining my consciousness and my focus on that concept. So I'm opening myself up to receive that abundance. And the idea behind it is you're focusing on it. You're focusing on it. So let me give an example. When you go into a room or something and you don't know all of what's in this room, right? You're just walking through, you're not paying that much attention, you're not shining your consciousness on every single thing in that room. When you leave, someone might ask you, how many DVDs are in that room? You're gonna go, I don't know. Why don't you know? Because you weren't focusing on it. You weren't shining your consciousness on that. And as far as the red roses things go, like back to that example, I was shining light on that. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to abundance, you could have abundance all around you. You do have abundance all around you. But when you open yourself up to receiving that abundance, you're now shining your consciousness on that concept. So whatever it is that you want to see in your field, set the intention that you want to see it, and that will come into your field. So anyway, with this concept of this first experiment, with the first experiment on here, I did this when I first got the book, and birds are my spirit animals. I have a lot of really interesting experiences with birds. Well, I was a kindergarten teacher at the time, and I was out at the playground with my kids, and I was just hanging out, and then a bird came, flew over my head, stopped over my head, and for about a minute and a half was flapping its wings and screaming at me. It was hilarious. It was literally like, squawk, squawk! And the kids are laughing, and they're staying there with me, and they're looking up, and they're like, why is this bird not leaving you alone? And I'm like, all right, thank you, field of infinite possibilities. I gotcha. So anyway, I highly recommend you doing the experiment. Let me know how it goes. And send me what happens at thedivinefrequency@gmail.com. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, I wanted to touch a little bit on Jimmy Church's radio show from last night. So on his show, a lot of them talked about this concept of the millennial generation sort of like functioning in a different way than the older generation, in the sense of not needing empirical evidence to suggest that UFOs exist. For our generation, we already believe that they exist, and so we don't really need that empirical proof. And what that sort of made me start thinking about, related to this video and to related to source field, is that what if we can be the generation that will raise the next generation to already be thinking about the field of infinite possibilities this way? What if they can already believe this and get these concepts and understand manifestation without having to really see the empirical evidence? Why? Because it's already ingrained in their DNA. How can we make that happen? So anyway, those are just my thoughts, and please let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.